welcome back to another episode of Twinkle Baker Decor where you can bake your imagination. Today's cupcakes are Halloween themed. For our first cupcake, we're going to make a fallen witch cupcake. For that cupcake, you're going to need orange buttercream, jumbo beads in the black and green colors from twinkleBakerDecor.com, and black and green fondant. For our second cupcake, we're going to make a witch hat cupcake. For that, you'll need green buttercream, black and purple fondant, jumbo beads in the black color, a circle cookie cutter, just a small one, and a fondant flower tool. For the third cupcake, we're going to make a bling pumpkin. For that, you're going to need orange buttercream, orange sweet sand from twinkleBakerDecor.com, brown and green fondant, and green frosting tube, also from twinkleBakerDecor.com. So let's get started. So I already have our cupcakes here. I made orange colored cupcakes. For this, I just put some orange food coloring. So I have our orange buttercream. I'm going to go ahead and just frost this. And I have a star tip 4B. So it's tip 4B. And this is going to be our fallen witch cupcake again. Just go around and then finish in the center. So I have my green fondant here. And I have my black fondant. Just need a little piece of that. And then knead the black fondant first. This is going to be like the base for the legs for the witch. So I want this a little bit thick, but not too thick. The green one will be thinner. So maybe like that thickness. And then get my green. And then we're going to roll this out thinner. We're going to wrap this around the black. And this is going to be the stocking for the witch legs. Try to roll it out evenly if you can. Okay, I want to just cut that thicker part off and then get some water, just a little bit, and then just go along the top here. And this is the part that's going to be sticking to that black part. You don't need all of the green part wet, just that top part. Just start at the top like a 45-degree angle, and then we're going to roll this. Okay, and just cut off that edge. I want to twist it a little bit just to make sure it's going to stay. I'm going to cut this into two, maybe almost even pieces. Then cut off those nub ends. So now we're going to put our two witch legs on our plate. This is going to be an upside down cupcake. And now we're going to make the shoes. We're going to make these purple. And so I'm going to make them into a teardrop shape first. The part at the point is going to be the tip of the shoe. And then just shape it as best you can into a shoe. And I want that tip to curl like this. So I want to make that teardrop part kind of long. And so there's my shoe. And I'll do another one just like this, and I'll be back and show you what we're going to do with them. So now I have my two witch shoes. And bring back the plate. Let me show you what we're going to do with these. We're going to glue them with some water so that they're going to be upright. Just like that. Okay, so now the shoes are up, like she fell on her back. And then get our cupcake. And I have some black jumbo beads from twinkleBakerDecor.com. I also have some green ones. And I want to use both of these to sprinkle around the cupcake. I'm just going to go around since it's really the only part we're going to see. And so, now we're going to flip this cupcake upside down. And it's going to be our fallen witch cupcake. And the cupcake's already on a plate. And that's our first cupcake. And I'm going to clean my board and then we'll be right back with our second cupcake. Now we're back with our second cupcake and I'm going to get started on the witch hat. So I need a little piece of fondant that I'm going to be rolling out for the brim of the hat. Powdered sugar sticks to my fingers when it gets warmed up, and I don't like that it sticks, and cornstarch gives me a drier product, which I will need for this cupcake. So roll it out. It doesn't need to be very thin because we're going to use our fondant flower tool to thin out the edges anyway. Then I have this cookie cutter. It's about an inch an inch in diameter, so when we put our hat on top of the cupcake, it'll look like that size compared to the cupcake. I just want to cut out that circle. And we have a foam board, and then this is our fondant tool. We're going to be using this round part to round out the edges. If you don't have this, that's okay. It's perfectly fine. This just details the witch hat on the edges. Yeah, and you know, if you don't have this tool, then it's not necessary. Just cut out the round and then you can put it right on the cupcake. And so now I have it kind of wavy on the edges like that. Then I'm going to get our cupcake and then ice it in a green fondant. And I'm using the same tip here that we used for our first cupcake. I just have green buttercream. So for this cupcake, we're going to use those black jumbo beads. And again, you can find these beads and our other beads, the green ones, you can find it at twinklebakerdecor.com. So we're going to get that hat part and then we just put it right on top. Want it kind of flat because we're going to have to add the top part of our hat. Where my hands meet here, this is where I want the tip of the hat to be, so that top tip. And I want it pointy because I want to roll it down into a design. I'm just going to cut this bottom part off so it makes it easier for this part to go flat on the top there. Now I have this top part on my hat and I want to just curl it down. And then get some water on my fingers and then put it right on top. And then get that purple. And I'm going to roll this out thin and then put this as the ribbon around the hat. So I just wrapped it in the back, just finished it off with a green bead. Our witch hat cupcake. And I'm going to clean up, then we'll be right back with our last cupcake. So now we're back with our third and final cupcake, which will be a pumpkin cupcake, our Bling pumpkin. So I have my orange buttercream here. I'm not going to pipe this one on. I'm just going to put a big dollop of orange buttercream right in the center. And I'm just going to smooth it out just a little bit. We're going to cover this in our orange sweet sand. I have my orange bowl to stay with the theme, and our orange sweet sand that you can find at twinklebakerdecor.com. So I'm just going to pour kind of a lot of this into the bowl and pour back what I don't need. Just want to make sure that my cupcake has a lot of room for cover there. And then get the cupcake and then just dip it in the bowl. I like to go edges first. And so the sweet sand is doing all the work by shaping it for us. I'm going to take that fondant tool and then just use the other end, so not the round part, but this end. And I just want to dent it like a real pumpkin has dents in it, has those lines. And you might not be able to see it on the camera, but when you serve these to your guests, they'll definitely be able to see the details. And now I have some brown fondant that I'm going to put on the top as the stem. I want to roll both ends with a point because when I stick it in the buttercream, I want it to stay. So I'm going to use this end as more support. And just like the witch hat, I'm going to make this kind of long because I want this to curl too. So I just want to curl it just like that. And then spiral curl it just like a real pumpkin stem would. So I'm going to stick it in right on top just like that. Now I also have this green frosting tube from twinklebakerdecor.com, and I just put it into a little pouch made out of parchment paper. I'm going to finish it off with some leaves. So to make a leaf tip for this, you just want to cut the sides into a point. So you want to get a V shape. This is the shape that you're cutting out of your parchment paper. And then cut that other side. And so it's just like that, like a V shape. Then go on the side of my pumpkin stem here, and I want this corner, so these two corners, I want this corner facing it. I don't want it sideways like this. I want it facing down, like pointing to the stem. And squeeze and then pull, and there you have it, a leaf. And do the same thing on the other side. And squeeze and then pull, and another leaf. And there's our Bling pumpkin cupcake. So I hope you enjoyed this tutorial of our Halloween themed cupcakes. All of the beads and the sugars you can find at twinklebakerdecor.com. And I hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you for watching.